My Jamaican family, before I pour my heart out, know this. My words, born in the rhythms of Burkina Faso's tongue, have been translated into English to reach every Jamaican and diaspora heart. Hear this urgent call. My Jamaican family, have you ever stood on your island's shores, gazing at the endless blue horizon, and felt it a pull deep in your bones? A whisper that the ocean dividing us is not stronger than the blood tying us together? I, Ibrahim Traoré, speak to you from Burkina Faso, my heart heavy with the weight of 400 years, yet burning with the fire of reunion. This is no distant message, it's personal, urgent, a lifeline across waves that have kept us apart too long. I'm calling to you, every Jamaican in Kingston's vibrant streets, every diaspora soul in Brooklyn's hustle, Toronto's quiet corners, or London's pulse, because we are one family, and I refuse to let history's scars keep us divided. 400 years, the number haunts me, just as it must haunt you. 400 years since our ancestors were torn from Africa's embrace, their cries swallowed by the Atlantic, their names replaced with numbers, their stories buried under the weight of chains. Jamaica, your radiant island, was forged in defiance, maroon rebellions, Bob Marley's poetry, Marcus Garvey's vision lighting the way. Yet, I know you carry the same ache I do, the empty plates at our tables, where stories of our shared roots fade like stars at dawn. I've seen it in my own land, where colonialism's shadow lingers, where foreign hands still try to pull our strings. But I also see your strength reggae rhythms echoing in Accra, jerk chicken scents in Miami, dancehall beats in my own Ouagadougou. Haven't you felt it, in the quiet of your nights, that longing for belonging? I feel it too. What if we could fill those plates not just with food, but with connection? What if the motherland wasn't a dream, but my hand, your brother's hand, reaching out, saying, come back. We're ready now. That's the urgency driving me, the defiance rising in my chest, and I know it burns in you too. Let me take you through my journey, not in a straight line, but through the threads of history that weave us together. I was born in Bondokouy, Burkina Faso, in 1988, a child of dust and dreams, studying geology to unearth my nation's wealth for my people, not for foreign vultures. I joined the army, fought jihadists in our northern deserts, served in Mali's peacekeeping missions, carrying the scars of a nation battered by coups and colonial greed. In 2022, at 34, I stood up not for power, but for dignity. I ousted a leader who failed our people, who bowed to outsiders while Burkina Faso bled. I vowed to break those chains, to reclaim our land, our gold, our future. I carry the spirit of Thomas Sankara, my mentor, who at my age dared to nationalize our resources, empower our women, and defy the West's grip. They killed him for it, but his words live in me. The slave who cannot assume his revolt does not deserve pity. And you, Jamaica, know this fire. Marcus Garvey's voice echoes in my soul as it does in yours. Africa for the Africans, at home and abroad. 400 years of separation, and now I'm building a bridge to bring us home. Why am I speaking to you, my Jamaican family, with such urgency? Because this fight isn't just for Burkina Faso, it's for you, for us, for the continent and its diaspora. In 2023, at the Russia-Africa Summit, I told the world, stop behaving like puppets who dance when imperialists pull the strings. That wasn't just politics, it was a cry from my heart. A cry I know you feel in your reggae riffs born of struggle. I've expelled French troops from our soil, nationalized our gold mines to keep wealth in African hands, rejected IMF loans that chain us in debt disguised as aid. I'm building free housing, expanding healthcare, constructing schools not for foreign praise, but for the farmers, the children, the dreamers who deserve dignity. With Mali and Niger, I've forged the alliance of Sahel states, not just a pact, but a family reunion, a vision of Jamaica, Haiti, the Caribbean joining arms with Africa, turning oceans from dividers into connectors. But threats loom, don't they? Plots whispered in Western capitals, sanctions from ECOWAS puppets, the same forces that silenced Lumumba, Gaddafi, Sankara. The suspense grips me. Will they strike me down too? Yet I stand unbowed, my youth a flame of hope, and I call to you. Africans must wake up, work to be independent, fight imperialism. The West calls me a terrorist today, but history will call me your brother. And for you, my diaspora family, I'm calling you home. 400 years. That number again, heavy as the chains we broke. I feel the weight of those ships, the auctions, the lost languages, just as you do in Jamaica's hills, in the diaspora's cities. Your island is a fortress of defiance, Nanny of the Maroons, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle, Marley's redemption songs, but we carry the shame of separation, the pain of a history that tried to erase us. At Sankara's mausoleum, I spoke to you. If you're Black, African, or part of the global diaspora, this message is for you. I've welcomed Black Americans as family, removed visas for all Africans, because you can't be African and a foreigner in Africa. In your Montego Bay, I hear Rastafarians chanting my name, linking me to Haile Selassie, to Garvey's dream. This is our reunion, personal and urgent. I see a table where our plates are filled not just with yam and callaloo, but with stories shared across continents, laughter bridging 400 years of silence. Our emotional arc moves from the pain of stolen heritage, those ships, those auctions, to empowerment, to a hope that burns brighter than any colonial shadow. What if you answered my call? What if Jamaica's fire met Burkina Faso's resolve, turning division into a global force? Let me share a story from my heart. In Ouagadougou, I met Aisha, a young farmer toiling under our unrelenting sun, her radio crackling with my speeches. She dreams of a future where her children won't bow to foreign powers, where they'll know their cousins across the sea. I thought of an elder in Kingston, Miss Pearl, whose hands carry decades of work, whose wooden box holds a bead, a photo, a rebellion's memory. She doesn't know her ancestral village, but she feels Africa in her blood. Aisha doesn't know Miss Pearl, but their dreams are mind plates filled with pride, with connection, with a future unburdened by the past. I carry these stories as I lead, weaving your Jamaica and my Burkina Faso into one tapestry. My fight is for Aisha, for Miss Pearl, for you, because our stories humanize the dream of unity. History grounds my urgency. I think of Garvey in Harlem, his Black Star Line, a vision to sail us back not just in ships, but in spirit. I think of Nanny, her defiance in your hills, mirroring Sankara's stand against greed. These aren't old tales, they're my blueprint. I'm reviving our languages, restoring our pride, empowering our youth from Ouagadougou to Kingston. I've banned foreign NGOs that exploit us, redirected wealth to our farmers, built schools where our children learn their history, not the West's lies. But the opposition is fierce, sanctions tighten like a noose, plots linger like smoke. The suspense keeps me awake. Can my vision survive? Can we rise without being struck down? These questions drive me, but your defiance, Nanny's, Garvey's, Marley's, fuels my hope. Picture the contrast, our past pain against our future possibility. The past ships cutting through storms, families shattered, names erased, the future a table set for a global reunion where Jamaicans and Burkina Faso share stories under the same starry sky. I'm building that table, expelling troops, nationalizing resources, forging alliances. I'm not just a leader, I'm your brother, refusing to be a puppet, choosing dignity over submission. Your history of rebellion mirrors mine. Nanny Bogle, Marley's anthems. My call is yours, to fill the empty plates, to bridge the oceans, to turn stars of hope into constellations of action. What if you joined me? What if we carried Garvey's vision forward, not as a dream but as reality? The weight of 400 years could become the power of 400 years. Resilience, creativity, unity. This unity isn't abstract, it's alive, urgent. I see your Rastafarians waving Pan-African flags, their chants blending with my Sahel's winds. I see your diaspora youth in Brooklyn tracing DNA to my West Africa, their hearts swelling. I see my students studying under solar lights, learning our history and our languages. These threads weave our new tapestry. But the threats remain. Imperial powers don't relent easily. The sanctions, the propaganda, the plots, they're the same tools used against Lumumba, Gaddafi, Sankara. Yet my youth, my clarity, my refusal to bow shine brighter. I'm fighting for you, for the day no African is a foreigner anywhere. That's my hope, my defiance, my urgency. This isn't just history's echo, it's our future's blueprint. At 37, I lead with modesty, with honesty, with a fire that mirrors yours. From my Sahel to your beaches, I'm proving unity as action languages revived, pride reclaimed, youth inspired. The threats only fuel my fire, evoking shame at our past chains, hope in our shared stars, defiance against division. So, my Jamaican family, hear my call. Let it stir you from pain to power. Share this message, let it ripple across the diaspora like waves returning home. subscribe, hit that bell so we can build this together. Join my movement, support this vision, agitate for unity, demand our rights. From Jamaica to Burkina Faso, I'm calling you home. Answer me, share this, subscribe, and let's rise together. Fatherland or death, we shall triumph.